fundamental, what do we call it now? Fundamental Islamic fundamentalism. The world has changed. The world has changed. America, we are living in fear. Sometimes I travel by the plane, somebody goes into the bathroom and stays longer than he should, and I get worried. That's not a liberty that God's reserved for us in Christ Jesus. But we find ourselves in that place as a nation where we feel like everybody is out to get us. Could it be that we have abandoned our prayer altars? Could it be that we have set aside and stepped aside from the word? Could it be that we have failed to influence the world from the position where we are supposed to position ourselves and influence the world? Because Christ is the true source of all power and all influence. And when we abandon him and abandon the position where God has given us to exercise influence on the world, we lose that authority that is ours because of righteousness. And so Paul comes in the book of Romans chapter 1. He says the wrath of God is being revealed from heaven against all the godlessness and wickedness of men who suppress the truth by their wickedness. Since what may be known about God is plain to them, because God has made it plain to them, for since the creation of the world, God's invisible qualities, his eternal power and divine nature, have been clearly seen, being understood from what has been made, so that man is without excuse. For although they knew God, they neither glorified him as God nor gave thanks to him. But their thinking became futile, and their foolish hearts were darkened. Although they claimed to be wise, they became fools, and exchanged the glory of the immortal God for images made to look like mortal man and birds and animals and reptiles. Therefore, God gave them over in the sinful desires of their hearts to sexual impurity for the degrading of their own bodies with one another. They exchanged the truth of God for a lie and worship and self-created things rather than the Creator, who is forever praised. Amen. He says, because of this, God gave them over to shameful lust. Even their women exchanged natural relations for natural ones. In the same way, the men also abandoned natural relations with women and were inflamed with lust one for another. Men committed indecent acts with other men and received in themselves the due penalty for their perversion. Furthermore, since they did not think it worthwhile to retain the knowledge of God, he gave them over to a depraved mind to do what ought not to be done. They have become filled with every kind of wickedness, evil, greed, and depravity. They are full of envy, murder, strife, deceit, malice. They are gossips, slanderers, God-haters, insolent, arrogant, and boastful. They invent ways of doing evil. They disobey their parents. They are senseless, faithless, heartless, ruthless. Although they knew God's righteous decree that those who do such things deserve death, they do not only consider to do these very things, but also approve of those who practice them. Brethren, I want to submit to you that there's a price to be paid when the church, when you and I decide not to retain the knowledge of God. Because God does not then allow for there to be a vacuum. When you do not retain the knowledge of God, God gives you over to a depraved mind. And how many of us know that we are at that stage in our society? It's amazing that the Bible says that the people look for ways, they invent ways of doing evil. Our generation in the last 30 years has seen people invent new ways of doing evil. During the Second World War, the Japanese were able to use suicide bombers to take planes to be able to go and explode enemy camps. In the 2000s, people have started using planes to go into buildings to prove a point. That's what the Bible is calling people inventing ways of doing evil. It's like they have this evil factory that's at work, generating for them, giving them new ideas of how to be evil. Why? Because they have decided not to retain the knowledge of God. Why? Because the Bible says that even though they knew God, they decided to set aside the knowledge of God. Now, this may be applicable at the level of the nation, because we are called upon to disciple nations, but this is applicable in your own life as an individual. The fruitfulness of God's word in your life and the health of the relationship that you're going to have with God is going to be, it's critically dependent upon how closely you decide to believe this word. The Apostle Peter says that word, cast all your burdens upon him because he cares for you. Do you believe it? Yes. That is how how you have to run your life. You should believe it. The Bible says that you should cast all your burdens, then you will not come up with worry. It says, do not worry about tomorrow. In the passage which you read in the book of Luke, which Lord Jesus Christ was describing the fruitfulness of the seed that was sown, one of the things that caused the word of God not to be fruitful in the life of the believer is because they worry. They're worrying about tomorrow. They're uncertain about their future. What's going to happen to my mortgage? How am I going to send the kids to school? My children are about to go to college. How am I going to feed them? How am I going to pay their bills? They worry, they worry, they worry, they worry, they worry. And because they worry in direct disobedience to God's word, and the word cannot be fruitful in their lives. But the Lord is calling us to come back to a place of revival. Amen? The Lord is calling us to come back to a place where we give His word the place of priority that it's supposed to hold in our lives. So that we would experience personal revival and personal victory in our Christian experience. That's why David says in the Psalm, he says that the person does not sit in the seat of mockers, but his delight is in the law of the Lord. On his law he meditates day and night. He shall be like a tree planted by streams of waters that bear his fruit in season. And whatever he does prospers. I was thinking about this passage a while ago, and I realized that the devil has suddenly replaced that scripture with a realization that is changing the outcomes of our lives. Instead of you and I meditating upon the word day and night, we meditate upon TV programs. Day and night. The average Christian prays for 5 to 10 minutes, reads one chapter of the Bible, and watches 6 hours of TV. Who is influencing their life? The word or the TV set? You are a sum total of that which you consume. What you bring into your system is going to define who you become and how you act. That's why the Lord took time to say, listen, let this book of the Lord not depart from you. Meditate upon it day and night. So that in everything that you do, you will prosper. I want to encourage every one of you here to go back and dust your Bibles if they are accumulated dust, and become students of the word. Go back and establish yourself. Root yourself in God's word. It is your only source of victory. It is absolutely important because we need to become word-minded. The dimensions and the kinds and the nature of challenges that we are facing as a nation requires a group of word-minded people to deal with it. It is not longer sufficient for you to be able to come with reason and logic and sweet-sounding arguments. You need to be based on the word, because the word in itself is anointed. Because like I told you earlier on, it is the word that God watches over to perform. When the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit sit in heaven, everything that has gone forth, the Bible says the word that goes forth does not return void, because it shall accomplish the things for which God has sent it forth. So that he should not be called a liar. He takes care to make sure that everything that he has promised in his word, he fulfills it. And so you and I then have a reason to depend on that word. Because you can go back and say, Father, you have said in your word, you are not a man that you should lie. You are not the son of man that you should repent. God doesn't have to offer an apology to anybody for being God. There is none like him. He's in a class of his own. Whatever he says, he does. And so he is fully capable of fulfilling the word that he has spoken in your life and he has spoken in my life. So we are going to stand on our feet and we are going to pray for ourselves. I just want to invite you to stand and let's pray as we close.